house, isn't it? I think this is a guild house.
Hello. I've the finest wares in the land.
Hey Sam, what's up? How's it going? I've already uploaded most of my add-ons for WoW. You go to my YouTube channel and you go to WoW add-ons turtle. Yeah, they're right here. I have added a couple add-ons since then though. I've added Cool Line, which is a really cool add-on. So what you can do is just go to the Turtle WoW. That's not it. You go here. You go here, it's got the full list of Turtle WoW add-ons right here. So. Ones I've added from there that I'm using are Cool Line. I'm using Master Control Program. I don't know if Master Control Program is there, but it's a really cool add-on. Master Control Program, Impulse Booster. What else? I think that's it. All the other ones should be in that zip file. I wish I had Holy Nova. When do I get Holy Nova? Probably level 30. This got a slow ass cast time. Oh, 1.5. Huh. Slow. Hey, Valiant, how's it going, man? Graduation party? Like what, high school, college? What? Who was graduating? High school? Gotcha. So there wasn't a bunch of liquor there, huh? If your nieces graduated? Oh, nice. Man, I wish I would go back and just graduate high school. Oh my goodness. It's funny how, like, if you could go back, I mean, I know I'd live my life very differently going back knowing what I know now, you know what I mean? cop showed up. Why did they what did he do? They handcuffed one of the kids graduating? That's a little bizarre. That's very bizarre. I wonder what he did. Weird. Remember what zone this was, and now I'm here and it's like level 17. I'm like, ah, crap. I was hoping this was a higher level zone, but it's kind of a bummer. Ooh, is that a tent I see? No, that's not a tent. That can't be right. Oh, I didn't know this was Horde territory. Woo! I thought that was an alliance. Oh, I thought that was an alliance. I thought that was an alliance camp. Guess not. Damn. Good thing that guy reset quickly. It's been so long since I've been in this zone, but it looks like it's too low level for me now, which kind of sucks. This is one of my favorite new zones from Turtle WoW. So I love this zone. It's fantastic. But sad. I mean, look at, I just love the way they did it. Like all the trees, all the hills. Like there's not too many zones that are so hilly. Like, you know, they're as hilly as this beautiful seaside port as well. Yeah, last time I did this zone, I was a horde. That's why I'm a little bit turned around. And I've only done this zone like twice.
I can be with you. Be careful.
Well met.
Yeah, I think this zone's going to be a waste of my time for right now. This is just... It's too... Well, I'll go to the... If you guys haven't seen the seaside port, I'll run over there because it's really cool. But again, I don't know if it's a horde port or not. Yeah. I think it is. I mean, look at the elevations. Great. I love it. I love how, like, steep this hill is. You know? So cool. Alright, this is definitely a horde encampment. Alright, well, definitely horde, so we can't go here. But this is a really cool, I think it's one of the coolest ports in all of World of Warcraft. It's a custom Turtle Wild port.
Sinu Amanore.
Why am I going here? I'm going. Oh my god. I'm obviously not awake. This is not where I wanted to go. And this level 50 character just bit the dust, man. Surprised that they waited that. It's weird that they did it like then. It's like it's almost like they were trying to be dicks about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like they could have waited till after he graduated. I don't know. Well, this music is not World of Warcraft music. This is actually Guild Wars 2 music playing right now. No, it's okay. I don't like to read about police matters or anything like that. Thanks, though. I'd rather spend my time looking at something more constructive. You know what I mean?
King's honor, friend. Go with honor, friend. For the Alliance.
Be nice to get like a.
What brings you here?
No, I'm not a political guy. I like to stay away from politics as much as possible. I am a I am a Dungeons and Dragons video game guy. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons guitar playing nature guy who likes to draw. Yeah.
Brings you here.
Exalted. Honored. What am I? Let's see.
Hello.
Am I not? I am honored. Oh, but I think they put a level on the stuff. Let's see here. Bard level 30. Actually, I can buy this cloak. Holy crap. I can buy this cloak like tonight, because we're going to hit 30 here pretty shortly. So we're going to get this cloak. What else do we got?
I am listening.
Ooh, 9 intellect. 9 intellect. Revered. Then revered. Level 60, level 60. Okay. And we just have to get to revered. I have no idea. I haven't seen... Are they even making a Season of Mastery 2? I haven't seen anything on it. I really don't want to play. I don't really want to play a official retail WoW server anymore. And I mean, I should actually. I have an active subscription to WoW. I probably should cancel it. You know. But why would I want to? I mean, there's nothing about Season of Mastery 2 that is in any way appealing. Right? Like, there's nothing appealing unless they're going to drastically make changes. You know what I mean? Yeah, so there's no official statement. Yeah, I just don't understand why would you even want Season of Mastery 2? Like, Season of Mastery 1 wasn't even that good.
Greetings, friend.
You know, they didn't make enough changes is what I'm trying to say. Like, Turtle WoW has so many more changes. Yeah, I know, well, I know what it is, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Season of Mastery was so... the changes were so minor. They weren't big, you know. It was a podcast interview. Okay.
Aliel Shala.
Oh no, Brian. When people talk about Season of Mastery, it kind of like, I guess, I just don't really understand the appeal, you know. Yeah, it has to have big changes. Like, if it doesn't have big changes, then I don't really see the point. That's what I'm kind of getting at. I don't really see the point of it. It's like, we're not gonna have any big changes. What's the point? I mean, who wants to play vanilla WoW again, like for the 10,000th time? I mean, unless there's changes, I don't think it's really appealing. Didn't I already do this quest? I mean, look, I've got poppies. I guess I must have dropped the quest or something. Oh, I did. I dropped it because I knew it wouldn't. Well, I hoped it wouldn't get rid of the items in my inventory.
I am honored. Good luck, friend. Be careful.
Yeah, it's distributable for rep. Yep. You been playing Elder Scrolls Online? The combat's so bad. Hey, Balian, the combat is so bad in Elder Scrolls Online. I've tried to play Elder Scrolls Online like 7 different times, and I could never seem to. I never enjoyed it. Like, it's not that it's just the combat's not very good. And the server's laggy, you know what I mean? The server's not very, it's laggy. Elder Scrolls Online could be really good if they fix the issues. Like, there are definitely issues with Elder Scrolls Online. Especially, most specifically, the server issues, right? Five months ago.
The Elder Scrolls Online is an MMORPG made by ZeniMax Online Studios that released back in 2014. And although the game had a very rough launch, several massive updates for the game drastically improved it overall and brought it back from an extremely low point to now being one of the most popular MMORPGs on the market. I've personally been playing ESO on and off for about 6 years, and in the past made a ton of content on the game. Although I have moved away pretty much from making ESO content, now cover MMORPGs generally, as well as more of a focus on BDO. However, this obviously isn't about that. This video is going to
more of a focus on BDO. I feel bad for you.
to cover Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm going to break this down into force.
I like give you I give you mad props if your main focus is BDO. I love BDO. It's a great game, but I would not want to be a content creator for BDO.
Sections, an about section, pros, cons, and summary, and hopefully by the end you will know if ESO is a game that you should give a shot in 2023. But before we get into this breakdown, I do just want to thank the sponsor of today's available listings. They have some say that ESO probably is one of the best implementations of player housing in any MMORPG that I've played. The game also has tons of places to explore, so if you are into exploration, there are tons of biomes in different places, delves, and public dungeons for you to go explore. ESO also does have a guild trader system, which makes for...
I don't like the questing system in ESO. I find it to be outdated, you know? Like, I find the questing system in ESO to be, like, really outdated. Like, and even though the quests can be... I mean, it's just... There's just... I feel like when I'm playing ESO, I mean, it's just like you're playing Skyrim. I mean, it feels like a single player game a lot, It's like go here, go there, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm really very much against quests in MMOs in that type of fashion. Like I don't really enjoy, go point A, go point B. Like what I'm doing right now, I don't really enjoy these types of quests. And I think there's definitely better ways to. I always get lost in this cave. Every single time I come to this cave, I get lost. I do. I have the worst sense of direction. If you were ever out in the middle of the woods, never ask me for directions because I will get you lost every time. My wife laughs at me. I don't know what it is about. I just cannot. I get turned around so easy. I don't know what it is. Like right here, I'm completely lost. I'm just looking at the mini map and hoping this is gonna take me out, and it does. But yeah, I don't really enjoy these questing systems like this anymore. To me, MMOs should be more along the lines of adventure games. And what I mean by that is you're looking for you're just looking for exploration. I think an MMO should be, for me anyway, personally, should be more about exploration of trying to explore the world, learn about the world, and then to maybe discover things and to accomplish, difficult tasks, but not to be like quest hub based. Not like you go here and there's a bunch of quests. I don't want it to be like that at all. I want you have to go out into the world and explore the world, and by doing so, you find things, little tidbits here and there that just kind of slightly push you maybe in this direction, or slightly push you in that direction. But they're very subtle. They're very subtle. And so I would prefer an MMO be a lot more free, have a lot more freedom. You just to go around and play the game however you want, and then along the way you might discover really unique and interesting things that you didn't think would even be there. And then it's just I don't like this question marks above people's heads, and I just feel like I'm being led by the hand. Here's go here, go there, And it's tough because to create an MMO that doesn't, because once people figure out where those things are in the world, then immediately it starts feeling like just a regular questing system, point A to point B again, because you're like, well, if I create a new character and I go and level again, I already know where all these little tips and tricks and hidden things are. So then that first experience of the exploration is lost, and now it's just going from point A to point B to point C again. So how do you get past that in an MMO? And it's very difficult. It's a really extremely difficult concept to try to wrap your head around. And I think one of the ways is to make the content. One of the ways that servers have talked about doing is doing sandbox servers where the server itself has a restart. You know what I mean? So Mike, like how you said you like fresh, right? So you have a sandbox server where you basically can play on that server for maybe a year, and then the server resets. But your characters don't reset. Your characters are still the same level they are, but things change so that maybe the cities that were built, they're really powerful. Something happens that brings them down and destroy them, and you have to maybe somehow build them back up again. Some sort of objectives that have to be reset, and reset in a way that you can't obtain them again the same way. So that kind of gives you like hopefully like a fresh perspective on the server. So like your progress isn't lost. Like you may have like and the other cool thing about that aspect about doing a server that way is that the stuff that you did that first year could never be done again. So it's a very unique aspect. You know, you could be playing on a server for 3 years and be like, wow, back on year one, I did this, and there could be a ton of people on the server who never did that because they never played on year one, or maybe it was a really hard thing to do or a really rare thing to discover. And so I think that would be a really interesting way to do an MMO server, and it certainly would be, in my opinion, a lot better than this kind of crap where it's just like, every time I create a character, I know all the quests are the same, all the objectives are the same, and I'm basically just rinse and repeat, doing the exact same thing over and over again.
What brings you here?
Yeah, also I'm not a fan of the inventory system in ESO. It's another one of those games that to me feels like inventory bloat. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like if you've ever played Guild Wars 2, it's like holy crap. Like after you play for like a couple hours, your just inventory is filled with so much junk. And the funny part is a lot of the stuff's usable stuff, but you're like, I don't even want to use this stuff. There's like, you know what I mean? Like if you look at the inventory here, same thing in Elder Scrolls Online. There's all this shit. Most of it's usable. It's white. So you just end up with just gobs of stuff. And I think to me, I don't really like that. I don't really like too many things that, and people would be like, well, yeah, but if it's stuff that's usable, as long as it's fine if it's usable in a way that it makes, that you want to use it. But in like Guild Wars 2, they give you so much crap that's like, you don't even want to use it. It's like tons of like gear that's totally like weak and low level, and just tons of junk that like you really don't even need. It's usable for things, but you don't need it because you'll level past it so fast. It's like, this is just, it's just inventory bloat that's just cluttering up my inventory. Yeah, I really dislike that in MMOs. And I've been dying to play a new MMO for a long time. And every time a new one comes out, I try like hell to play it and really like it, but we just haven't had one. I'm gonna be playing Throne of Liberty, and I know that Throne of Liberty isn't gonna be a great game, unless they make drastic changes to it, because all the feedback coming out of Korea is already saying the game, they're not really liking the game that much. Of course, these are Koreans, and the way the United States people play MMOs is a little bit different than the way Koreans do, so it's possible we might like it a little bit more than they do, just based on how we approach MMOs. But the whole like auto combat system is really bizarre. Like, if you guys haven't looked at Throne of Liberty, like the systems they have here, hold on a second. It's really strange, actually. I have like way too many channels. Where is my throne? Here we go.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Throne and Liberty video. My name's Brian if you happen to be new to the channel, but if you're a returning subscriber...
So this is Ginger Prime Brian. He's a pretty good guy.
Welcome back.
His videos are pretty decent. I never would name my channel Ginger Prime. I just... weird. He's got orange... Whenever people have red hair and they start using the term ginger, yeah, whatever.
On steroids, man-esque skills, and that's kind of where they go into this. There are some actually disengage spells, is their word. Now, you can move and use, but I couldn't find...
Okay, so I wanted to cover the auto combat. So Throne of Liberty has basically like an auto play mode where the game's actually fighting by itself. You're not even in control. And usually when you have that in any kind of a game, it's like a mobile game. And it's usually a huge turnoff. When I hear something like that, I immediately don't want to play. But there are other games. Even Black Desert has stuff you can do where you're not at the computer. In Black Desert, you can set up your guy to fish and be fishing when you're not at the computer. You can set up all of your hired grunts to go out and mine ore and mine, timber and do all kinds of stuff, which is actually really cool. I actually like that about Black Desert, how you have hired workers that you can have doing stuff. And it's actually super cool. If you guys haven't played BDO, you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's actually really fun.
Find it at the time of this recording, so you guys can sound off in the comments below if you know the answer to that one. Y'all ask a lot about dodge rolls, how do you get out of bad, and they say there is no dodge movement. Again, the combat in and of itself has an auto attack. You can move and use skills. Some skills will root you, and there are also some movement-based skills, and that's kind of where they go into this. There are some actually disengage spells, is their word. Now, I think of this as movement.
Well, that's kind of weird. I mean, not to have a dodge skill is a little bit odd. Now, if he says there are disengage skills, I mean, there's, so if you think of like an archer that has an ability where he does like a backwards roll and then shoots an arrow, that would be like kind of almost like a disengage skill. So as long as it has abilities where you can move out of the way of something while doing something, there's a lot, Terra had a lot like that, but Terra used a dodge roll very effectively, but it also had abilities that you could use that were actually, attack abilities that had you move. You know what I mean? I have checked out Chrono Odyssey and it looks really good. But anyways, I just want to say that I am going to be checking Throne of Liberty out a lot just because it's the closest MMO we have that's coming out. I have looked at Chrono Odyssey quite a bit and it looks pretty amazing actually. I can't. In particular, obviously the time effects look great, but if you see this part here, this is one of my favorite parts of this trailer is right here. So I love how you've got what looks like almost kind of like almost like an assassin type character, or like a scout or a ranger or something. She's fighting up close with what looks like a couple of fist weapons, right? But then she does this beautiful 360 spinning back kick. So cool. I love the combat. The other thing about Chrono Odyssey, there's a lot of things I like about Chrono Odyssey. I also like the fact that it's Unreal Engine 5 because it really bodes well for us as MMO fans, because Unreal Engine 5 is allowing people to create really good looking games really quickly, because it doesn't take, it's just a lot faster development time with Unreal Engine 5 because of the tools it has for developing this stuff. But the fact that we have MMOs coming out using it that look this good is really... And they also talk about the performance-wise, Unreal Engine 5, even with some of the better graphics, actually performs better than it does with some of the less as good graphics, which is really interesting because of the engine is so optimized to handle some of the new features that it actually works really well. But what I really like about Chrono Odyssey in this trailer is if you notice like during like really high action combat sequences like this, notice how clear the rest of the world is. They're not doing like what you see in some MMOs where they do like a little bit of a Gaussian blur on the whole screen, which like when you're moving, which I really dislike. Right? So here she's doing this beautiful 360 spinning hook heel kick is what that is actually. She's doing a spinning 360 hook heel kick and it knocks the mobs backwards. Watch this. And right after it knocks them backwards, she does a backwards flip. So this would be like what we were talking about just a minute ago in Throne of Liberty. This would be like a disengaged maneuver, right? You're disengaging kind of from combat, but you're not really doing a dodge roll. Anyways, but it has really good hitboxes. Well, I'll have to take a look and see if I can detect the hitboxes. But that's a really cool... I really liked this combat sequence here with the back kick and the back flip and the gun. And for anybody who hasn't seen the trailer, I'll just start it from the beginning. So we obviously looks like we have weather systems, day-night cycle. And of course, the whole concept of time is always a great one in video games. The idea of being able to go through to go backwards and forwards in time is always kind of, it gives you a lot of interesting ideas. I see this a lot in MMOs, and I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of unrealistic. Like, I see this a lot in MMOs where they do like the grass is like waving. The thing is though, it's moving. All the grass isn't moving in the right direction, so it's really not very well. I mean, like the grass wouldn't really like in real world grass wouldn't really move like this. Like you'd have to have some seriously like bizarre heavy wind. Like this grass here isn't even long enough to do what it's doing really. Like it just doesn't. It doesn't look real to me. Like, I don't know. It's just a little bit, yeah, whatever. I like that. Like, if you notice here, watch the actual speed of movement of the character as he's running. The run cycle, like the run cycle and the walk cycle, is a little bit slower than I'm used to seeing in an MMO, and I actually like that. It's kind of like when you play like a Dark Souls game. And I'm not a huge fan of Dark Souls games. They're okay. But that slightly slower movement, I think gives you a little bit of a feeling of weight. You know, if you know what I mean. Like there's this weight. It's like my body has weight, and when I'm moving, it's, you know, you're just not flying across the landscape, you know, in a realistic fashion. Okay, I'll have to take a look for that. Yeah, but you can see. This looks very much like Black Desert. I mean, you can see the water looks very similar to Black Desert. There we do have, you can see we do have a little bit of Gaussian blur going on down here, though. But it's not bad. It's not bad. If this is like a real city. If this is like a real city and all these things that we see are things you can go to, that's a lot of stuff going on. Like, look at all. One thing I will say is these buildings to me don't look like they belong in the same scene as this castle or this structure. Like the architecture seems a little bit off. Also, what's with this bright yellow color? I can't imagine in a medieval setting that you would have structures that were this bright yellow, but whatever. Seems a lot. I love this enemy here with like the liquid, like his body's like made out of some sort of like liquid. It's very cool. Block. Now, a lot of people when they watch this video said that it looks like he cuts this person's arm off, which I've seen in MMO. You're not cutting people's arms off. You know what I mean? But he did. I mean, you can see there's the arm flying. So, you know, I'm like, you know, like in an MMO, you don't typically have your body parts get ripped off. And the other thing, when I first watched this trailer, Mike, is I just thought it was like a single player game. Because it looks like a single player game. It doesn't look like an MMO. And I immediately stopped watching the trailer after like about 20 seconds. I'm like, whatever. I'm not interested. Because I don't really like single player games. I like games that have a massive amount. You know, I like MMOs. I don't know why, because I don't really interact with the other players a ton. But I just like to know that they're there. You know, I like to know that I can group when I want to. You know what I mean? And that there is group content. Yeah, you can see, like, when I was watching somebody else react to this video, they were talking about how you could tell, like, some of it, the animations look like they weren't quite finished. And I would say they probably were talking about this animation here, because this climbing animation is pretty clunky. It's a little clunky. Also, if you notice, if you want to be really picky, some of the... This looks really good, but some of the work here looks like it could be cleaned up a little bit. As far as like the arrow placements look a little bit off. I guess it's not too bad. That one's better. Look at the size of this. God, this enemy is so cool looking. That is a big boy, yeah. This is like, okay, this is the coolest part of the whole video. Like, if you have a character that can actually freeze enemies, like it basically stopped time, but she's basically still able to react outside of time. That's like the coolest thing. Actually, and I don't often watch videos where I'm like watching them by myself and I go, holy shit. But when I watched this, I actually said out loud, oh my god. You know, I kind of was like, oh my god. Because of how cool it was. Like, this is super freaking cool. I mean, how cool is that? There, it reminds me of the monsters in Terra. A lot of the combat actually reminds me of Terra, believe it or not. Like, a lot of the combat reminded me of Terra, and also, specifically the spellcasters reminded me of Terra, because they seem to be pretty, you know, animation locked. And then a lot of the combat reminded me of Black Desert, but like the combat is some of the best as far as like just the clarity of it. Like, one of the things that, like, in MMOs that people often overlook is, if you're thinking about PvP most specifically, you know, the combat animation should be clear and easily discernible. You should be able to look at people's animations and be like, oh, I know what they're doing, you know, because that way you can counter those things. So if it's all like glitz and shit flying on the screen and messy and sloppy and there's Gaussian blur and on the frames and it's just blurry and shit and everything's really fast, and it doesn't lend itself really for good PvP, and it really doesn't even lend itself for the best PvEs. But if you noticed, I think one of the things that I saw in this trailer right away that I really liked was how clean and how clear the abilities were. You know, it's like I was like, wow, I can see what these characters are doing, you know. And this ability here, like right here, is so Archer, right? This arrow, this is so Terra. See that? That is so Terra. Now watch, like when I charge up one of my arrows. Now I'm not, I don't have the camera zoomed in. They're right there. That's the shot I was talking about. You charge it up, and then you shoot it, and it does this huge arrow that actually can go through multiple targets at once. It just doesn't look like the Crown Odyssey because obviously it's a different game engine. Plus the camera's really zoomed in. But if I was really zooming with the camera and standing further back, it would actually look quite a bit like. It wouldn't look as good as this, but I mean, it's very similar. You know, the mechanics of the ability are extremely similar. But again, look at the clarity and the crispness of the environment during combat. Like, look how clean and crisp the ground looks. It's really good. And also, if you notice here, this is, you can see some stuff with his head looks all janky. This doesn't look right at all. I mean, his neck looks like it's bent at a really weird angle, like he's got a broken neck here. So yeah, that's one of the things I did notice is that a lot of the animations, there definitely was some issues with some of the animations. But if you look at this, it's very similar to a lot of the more modern MMOs, where there's a lot more effects on the ground. Like if you look at Ashes of Creation, same thing. Like where you're swinging weapons. Like in older MMOs, like WoW, when we swing swords of WoW, we don't see the ground erupting and pieces of stone flying. But in these newer, what they like to call next-gen MMOs, we're seeing this a lot more often, where abilities like the ground is, like this, tearing up. Again, here, it's so clean. Like, everything is so crisp and clean. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. This is very BDO. This character this is very BDO here. Like, Archer gameplay always looks boring. Like, whenever I watch this type of gameplay, whenever I see this Archer just standing back, just shooting arrow after arrow, it always looks kind of boring. It's like, I'm just standing here, arrow, 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 arrow. And, I can tell you what, one of the games that had the most fun Archer gameplay was, I'll see if I can find it, but Dragon's Dogma has got some of the coolest Archer gameplay. I don't know if I have any of it. Let's see here. I'm gonna start recording here because yikes. So here's me playing Dragon's Dogma, and I am a ranger, but notice, and so there you're like arrow, arrow, same thing though. Well, notice how like I got tired. Like you can only shoot so many arrows before you actually run out of energy. But there are arrows where you have like multi-shot and stuff. Like there's aim, there's fire, there's different bow modes, but and there's a lot of like precision. Like and you can see the enemy here, the Hydra, which is really badass looking Hydra, super cool looking. It's not easy to land shots because the heads are moving around quite a bit. It looks easy, but it's actually you have to play quite a bit to get used to the to landing those arrows. It's a troubling foe. It's a big foe. Look at the size of this guy. Look at him destroying like the... How cool is that? He just destroyed that tower. Isn't that cool? One of the coolest combat systems of any MMO I've ever played is this game here, Dragon's Dogma. And you can actually jump on top of these creatures and climb on them. There's no place to hide. That's my minion. And I chose that voice too. He's like here. So you can climb these guys.
Oh my god, climbing this thing is such a pain in the butt.
It's hard to climb because he's so big. I'm like stabbing him in the neck with my dagger. And I said, screw this, and I jumped off.
I'm so tired.
And again, I ran out of energy, so you just... when you run out of energy in this game, it's hard to even move around.
No, she grabbed Morgasha.
She goes, you'll not take me, but it did. It grabbed Morgasha, which is my kind of sorcerer. It's like, which head do you shoot? There's so many. It aims to eat us. No shit. Whoa. Whoa. Oh.
Damn.
What a troubling
vicious.
foe. What a troubling foe. That was my triple. That was like it. There I shot like 3 arrows at once. You have like abilities where you can do like a rapid fire. You can shoot 3 arrows at once. And I can't remember. There's other abilities you can do, but... I'm like, let's join this guy. So I guess you can't destroy them on your own. You have to start using explosives. Oh, and then he eats it.
Ate the explosives. That's probably not going to be good.
Oh, it's a great game. It's a really good game.
You can shoot that.
Boom, and then I hit it.
That worked. That was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, so that's dragon. Let's see what it, wait.
And
It's a single player game, but you basically
yeah, now I
can.
gotta perform some.
It's a single player game, but you have you have these minions. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're called peons. You have these peons that basically you go and recruit, and then you can give them gear and equip them with gear, and you can like kind of train them and set them up to do what you want them to do. And you have commands where you can actually command them, like basic commands like follow, attack, support. Like if you have like like I have my Morgasha character, yeah, they're like followers. Yeah, they're called peons, but they're like followers. And I think you can get up to like 3 of them. But that you can. One of the things that is really interesting is you can go into this area, and I can't remember what it's called, but like that big stone we just saw, you can interact with the stone here, and you can go into this like misty area, and you can leave your followers there, and other people who are playing the game, because you can play the game in online mode, other people that are playing the game can actually go into the game, recruit your followers, use your followers, and level them up. And then when they stop using them and you go back and pick them up, they'll be higher level than they were when you left them. They can also equip them with gear. So you could actually take your guys, create them, throw them out there, and someone else may use them, level them up, and equip them with better gear. Then when you go back and grab them, they're a lot better than when you left them there. You know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting. It's an interesting system. I was going to see if we had some more big... I want to show you some more of the big bosses or big guys. I think we got one here, right? YouTube's... So here's like an early battle. So this is early on in the game, right?
Cyclops. Alright, enough of that.
Did Guild Wars do that? What they made? Well, like where you could get an NPC healer. I don't remember doing that in Guild Wars. Oh, you mean Guild Wars, not Guild Wars 2. Oof.
Damn. Oh. Hello.
Yeah, it's still in the learning mode here. Now I'm like shooting fire. See, I'm shooting flame arrows.
Trying to take out these goblins here.
And you see Rook there was casting a healing spell on me. I love how in this game you can, look.
Take fire.
I've got like dual wield daggers. How cool is that? I love my dual wield daggers. That's awesome. And here we can climb up onto the enemy, right?
I'm trying to climb his leg. I'm just hanging here.
This is when I still was new to the game.
Oops, I did.
Oh.
I jumped off the leg.
I'll grab hold
So
Now
the
you can climb
this is the
up.
part of the game that's trying to teach you. You know, now you can climb on top, and like I'm stabbing him in the neck. Now he grabs me.
Now this is the hard part because I'm on a keyboard, not a controller, so I gotta hit Control E, Q and E really fast.
You gotta hit Q and E really fast so for him to let go of you, but he didn't.
And I actually died.
He died. He killed me. Look.
It's funny because when I did this before, I never died. He never even
Yeah,
grabbed
and he
me.
killed me.
One is for me.
This is Dragon's Dogma. That's a great game. They actually had an online. They actually had a Dragon's Dogma online at one point, and everybody who has ever played Dragon's Dogma,
It's kind of disappointing. I certainly didn't expect to die.
everybody who's played Dragon's Dogma wants there to be a Dragon's Dogma MMO. I mean, everybody, because it's just such a good game. Like, it's so cool. Let me show you a video. Dragon's Dogma has the most amazing magical spells of any game, period, right? Check this out. This is Mage and Sorcerer Vocations, all magic spells and skills demonstration. Check this out. Mage spells. This is what playing a mage looks like. That's actually not the video I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this one. That one's good too, but this one's... He's just demonstrating the spells in this one. Lightning bolt. Now this casts like a gust of wind around your character, and enemies that come up near you will take damage. So look at that. Look at that. This is a lightning whip, which you create a lightning whip that you kind of swing around. Super awesome. Amazing. You can see the spells take a long time to cast, but they're just massive. You can actually use this one to climb on. Another like kind of protective spell. Is this meteor? No. That's the targeting reticle. The little circle on the screen is just kind of targeting where your spell's going to go. Oh, God. Yeah, well, the thing is, like, the spells take a long time to cast, so you would have to have, like, it'd be so cool in PvP because you'd have to have, like, melee characters protecting the spellcaster so they could get their spells off, right? But their spells are lethal. Look at that. I mean, there's no game I know of that has spells like this, you know? Meteor swarm. Anyway, so that's yeah. Dragon's Dogma has the coolest magical spells of any game. Now there's also, but the thing it's not just that. I mean, all the spells in Dragon's Dogma look really good. If you look at the Mystic Knight, which is the class I played, abilities. Let's see if we can get a video. The abilities for Mystic Knight are really cool. Wow, this video is 40 minutes long. So Mystic Knight is more of like a paladin kind of like character. All right, so here's Blink Strike, Burst Strike. This is a good video because they tell you like what each ability does. Like a lunging attack, broad cut. And also, it's nice because as you do this ability, you're moving backwards, so you can kind of attack while backing up. You know, broad slash. Oh, the sky dance. This ability is hilarious. You literally jump in the air when you do this one. It's called the sky dance. So you jump up in the air and lunge forward. Really fun ability. It doesn't look that amazing here, I mean, but to use it in combat, it's really fun. Because you can see how far he travels with it. You can travel. So again, for PvP, that would be an amazing ability. There's the Sky Rapture, advanced form of Sky Dance that repels the user over a greater distance. Tusk Toss. Yeah, I played the Mystic Knight a lot, and I liked it. The other thing, Dragon's Dogma has some of the coolest looking armor. Like, just to give you, like, just to show you, like, the graphics in the game are kind of, they're a little bit outdated, but they still look really good. Like, let me show you some screenshots here. My Steam. But there is actually, it is in the works though. Just to let you guys know, Dragon's Dogma 2, I think MMO, I believe even. I'm not sure if it's an MMO, but it is actually being developed as we speak. So, which is super cool. All right, so here, these are screenshots I took while playing Dragon's Dogma. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, she's like, come on, are you kidding me? How do I? These are like browser links, right? So, I mean, look at that. I mean, this is a screenshot in the game. I mean, that looks pretty good. It's very gritty. It's very medieval. It's very like, like here's a screenshot of, of just like a castle at nighttime. And the game has really dark nights. So it's got beautiful day-night cycles, which are just awesome. And has some beautiful suns. It's a really good game. I love this game. I love the castles. I love how they did the castles in this game. And one of the things I could talk about, and I know I've got some screenshots of it, is like you can even say cool door texture, capital city arch. See our city gates too. Like you can see the lens flares they got. There's a lot of lens flares going on in Dragon's Dogma. Fort, beach. Here's like a beach in Dragon's Dogma. Oh, there's one. Oh, this one's pretty cool. This one here. This again gives you kind of an idea of what it looks like a little bit at nighttime. Let's copy this page URL. Oh, that didn't work, did it? I need to zoom. I need to copy this one. The only problem I have with this game is it's more of like a, the combat system is more of like I mean, the controls are more like a console game. So it's a little bit like the controls are a little bit hard to get used to. But look at this. Look at this castle. Look how good it looks. Look at the stones. So really, one of my favorite things about the art assets in Dragon's Dogma is the variation in the stonework and the level of erosion and the level of detail and attention that was taken into making things look worn, like over the passage of time. A lot of games, like the textures are very, they're not that great. They're very clean, So if you see like a street texture of brick, you can even almost see where it's like overlapping. They call them seamless textures, but they're not necessarily seamless, But if you look here too, so you'll see a lot of like variation in the ground, a lot of like curves and hills, and I know I've got a screenshot. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Like here, this is a good one. So here you can see that like, let me get this one, copy URL. What if I zoom in? I can do it this way. Yeah, we can just do it this way. Just gotta drag it out. So like the ground, how like when you're in this like little village, it's very run down. It gives you the feeling that the village is like old, and you can see like there's some bricks here, and you can see like almost like mud. Like it's just like if it was old medieval time, people walking down these dirty, muddy roads. See how it's all eroded here? See like how there's this big brick building here, and then there's some grass and some trees and stuff, but then immediately it just erodes. You can see the rain, how it's eroded all the edges here. And even the brick, you'll see a lot of variation in the stonework. And you'll see a lot of like where the stone in the middle, stone steps are worn down, so it bows down in the middle, and it's just you see it all over in Dragon's Dogma, a huge amount of detail in that way, and it's really cool because you don't see that. You don't see that in a lot of even modern MMOs. Don't do the best job of really pay attention to those types of details. No, I thought I had more screenshots of that, but I'm not really seeing them. Here's just a picture of like a keep up on a hill that I took. The combat's really fun though. It's really really fun. Oh yeah, this is like look too like how like my weapons like glowing. Like you have buffs that you can put on your weapons. So you have spells you can cast that actually empower your weapons, and when you do, your weapons have a glow to them, and they look really great. Like when you're in like a dungeon like this, and I'm fighting this huge bizarre looking creature. And it's just, oh man, I can't. It's just really cool. I don't know a better way to say it. Yeah, like here's like a city. Whoops. I can pull that one up again. So here's like what it looks like inside a city. So you'll see like here's a magic shop. You can see like a wooden sign that says like I think it says magic, maybe not. But yeah, so it's a lot of Bavarian style, typical, architecture you'd see in a lot of MMOs. But very dirty looking, very grungy looking. Nothing in Dragon's Dogma ever looks like really clean and pristine. You will get some really beautiful, blue skies like this here, where you can see it's kind of like this, very beautiful day. And but it's an old game, so it's dated. But if you guys have never played Dragon's Dogma, you should. It's on Steam. It's probably free. What other abilities are they going to go through? I wanted to show you like. Yeah, like here's like you do these spells. See, like the Mist Knight will summon almost like this little orb, and then when you attack, you're shooting. It's like you're shooting like magic missiles almost through the orb that you summon. So it's very kind of a unique spell. You don't see that in MMOs. I've never seen that in an MMO before, really. It's very unusual. So it's called Magic Cannon. Compass Slash. Stone Forest. What's this one do? Yeah, you like slam the ground. It does a huge like AoE attack. Yeah, anyways, it's just, yeah, there's, obviously that video is 40 minutes long. So right there, you have a video that's 40 minutes long, just trying to explain all of the spells that a mystic knight can cast, which so it's pretty impressive actually. That there's that much stuff. And then we go back to World of Warcraft, and you're like, you know, it's so. When you look at games like Chrono Odyssey and Dragon's Dogma, but there's actually a video here. Let me find you. They're actually just because they are working on Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't know if it's a multiplayer game though, but there was an announcement, right? So there was a Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary, and in this 10th anniversary, they did a Dogma 2 announcement.
皆さんこんにちは。この動画をご覧いただきありがとうございます。カプコンドラゴンズドグマディレクターの逸野秀明です。先日ドラゴンズドグマは10周年を迎えることができました。これも皆様の応援のおかげです。本当にありがとうございます。今日はですね、ドラゴンズドグマがどんな風に生まれたかっていうのを皆さんと一緒に振り返っていきたいと思います。
So you basically, obviously you have to watch the video. I mean, it's not fun to watch this now, but these guys are talking about how they are going to live reaction.
改めましてドラゴンズドグマます。
Announcement. What are you going to show us?
お待たせしました。
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Itsuno, you bastard! I told you he was gonna do that. I told you. Oh my fucking god. This is it, guys. Give me that fucking t-shirt, man. Where are you selling that? Holy shit.
Dragon's
God, my fucking heart rate. There we go. There we go. Give me that logo, man. This is what we were waiting for, man.
So this was 10 months ago. So I don't know where we are with Dragon's Dogma 2. But you can see this guy was excited. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma has a pretty loyal following. I'm sure there's a lot of people that really like it. And there was Dragon's Dogma versus Dark Arisen. And the one that I was showing you guys was Dark Arisen. That's the one that's on Steam, is Dragon Dogma's Dark Arisen. Here's a video from 4 months ago.
Will we be seeing Dragon's Dogma 2 in the next year? Welcome back, everyone. I got an article today from What If Gaming called Dragon's Dogma 2 Release Date Leak and All We Know. 10 years later, we're finally getting the magic world of Granis back. Now, the article was written by John Carlo and is published on December 10th, 2022. Dragon's Dogma is...
This is the very beginning of the game. So when you play Dragon's Dogma for the very first time, this is kind of the beginning intro that you go through.
An action role-playing game by Capcom, originally released for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 back in 2012. 10 years later, Capcom celebrated the 10th anniversary of the game.
Also, you can see if he's got a lantern equipped. Notice how the character... so it gets really dark in Dragon's Dogma, like at night. And so there's times when you will equip a lantern. You can see the lanterns are on his right hip right here. And there's times when you're going to be using a lantern. Like you'll be going out in the world at night and you'll equip your lantern. But what's cool is you can still, have a shield and a sword out because the lantern like attaches like to your belt or something. So it allows you to fight at night, which is just, I love that. I'm a big fan of night being very dark, but being able to go out there and have a light source and fight at nighttime is just such a cool mechanic. I don't know if I have I'm sure on some of my, because I've done quite a few videos on Dragon's Dogma. I'm sure I probably have an example of me at night. Maybe, I don't know. And I can see some really dark stuff going on in this video, if it'll ever play.
Coming up.
Leave it to me. They're trying to heal me, so let's see how long it takes for them to heal me.
So restore your health.
So here I'm playing around with my peons or my minions or my followers. I've got about 3 of them.
It's so cool looking. I mean, the graphics.
And so this is night. So this is like Rook is the healer. He's casting this big, huge healing spell. And what it is the healing spell he casts. It's just kind of like it's an area spell. So it sits in that area, and anybody who walks through it will get healed. But then you can see this is at nighttime, so it's super dark, right? The performance of trying to move around these. I hate. Come on. There we go. So you can see here we're definitely at nighttime.
Who knows what lies in wait? Let's proceed with caution. Did it!
Now he's casting healing. So now and he does it like it's kind of like some other games you've played, like RPGs that you've played, where basically they will automatically, this guy will automatically heal you once you get to a certain, once your health gets so low.
They're trying to heal me, so let's see how long it takes for them to heal me.
So restore your health.
Anytime. It's so cool looking. I mean, the graphics, the lighting. This is really. This is so cool.
And you can see my weapon and my shield are glowing because I've cast a spell that.
There's some fire over here. Let's check it out.
Grab a couple herbs.
I'm gonna take an herb. You get so many of them.
So we got these little kobolds. There's these little orcs out there, and we're just killing orcs right now. Goblin!
I'm telling them to attack.
She's like, Goblin, leave it to us.
There's so many of them. Oh my goodness. Oh shit.
No, they hold the advantage. Burn them.
Burn them.
I've learned new techniques against that foe. I've learned a new way to fight there, Rick.
I love how your peons, your followers, always talk to you.
Oh shit!
Like I'm almost dead.
Took a healing salve. Now I'm gonna
I'll heal your wound.
Yes, heal me.
I'll heal
Very
you.
well.
I'll take them.
They're hard to see. It's so dark.
And so this is before I actually had like the lantern, because like later on you can get a lantern that you'll be able to use, which is going to make it a lot easier to see at nighttime because that'll illuminate the area pretty well. So this is obviously early in the game when my character has very few abilities, but anyways, it's a super cool game.
PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 back in 2012. 10 years later, Capcom celebrated the 10th anniversary of the game on June 16th, 2022, and with it gave us a big announcement regarding the release of Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 will be released between 2023 and 2024. With Miyazaki taking the lead, Capcom has everything it needs to make Dragon's Dogma 2 successful. The 10th anniversary stream, although
yeah, so Dragon's Dogma 2, whenever it comes out, I will definitely be playing this game. I just don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be a single player game?
Unanswered during the 10th anniversary stream of Dragon's Dogma. He did mention that the game is already under development. He said that
because there was a Dragon's Dogma online, so if you look for that, I mean, there was an MMO version of this game, believe it or not, but it wasn't in the West, I don't think. I think it was only like in the East. So if you go Dragon's Dogma Online multiplayer, what was this? Oh, 7 months ago. What is this?
And then dance is so good. There we go. You made it, Leif. There we go.
Yeah.
No.
Helmet, because the helmet. Go look at his face.
Yeah, it's too
Not
late.
exactly.
And the Dragon's Dogma Online was a little different. Like it wasn't quite the same as the single player version. It's kind of like how you played, Elder Scrolls Online or like Skyrim, and then you played Elder Scrolls Online. How they were different. Kind of like that. They made something.
His face.
So you see, looks like more like an action game.
First, let's.
Got some
heal,
Saurians, man.
Throwing people.
These Saurians are resistant to basically.
So how did he play this? So we're gonna join this guy's Discord. I don't know if this is like a private server, because as far as I know, Dragon's Dogma Online has been shut down and was shut down quite a while ago. So I'll do some research. If there's a Dragon's Dogma Online server like where we can play multiplayer, we'll definitely check that out.
everyone on the development team is already working hard on the game, and that the fans of the series should look forward to it, and given that the fans have waited almost a decade, they'll definitely be excited about it. Itsuno is a staple developer and director for Capcom games, and the genius behind the Devil May Cry series. With Itsuno leading the helm, he directed Devil May Cry 2, 3, 4.
See, here it is, the Riftstone. So it's the Riftstone is what they're called. And the Riftstone is what you use to summon pawns. So they're called pawns, not peons. They're called pawns, and you summon them from the beyond.
And 5, and has since been working on no
And you see here, he summoned this character to come and help.
other project, or so it seemed. Dragon's Dogma might have started production at the end of 2020 or early 2021, and any project with Itsunu leading usually takes somewhere between 3 to 4 years between releases. Some close to the development team implied that the team spirit was good and that they're running tests eternally every 2 months. Taking a look at the development cycle of Devil May Cry 5, Capcom initiated the development of Devil May Cry 5 in January 2016. They later announced it in 2018 with a release date of March 2019. Now, what does this have to do with Dragon's Dogma 2? If we follow up Itsunu's latest development cycle, we could have a Dragon's Dogma 2 with a release date of 2023 to 2024 if all goes well. Dragon's Dogma 2 leak. Dragon's Dogma 2 seems very early in development. However, we have a leak from a now deleted 4chan post. Obviously, take this with the information with a grain of salt. The starting class. Only one starting class is available at the start of the Arisen's Path, the Explorer. Reworked classes. These classes have been changed and mixed up a little. For example, the Warrior class has been reworked and is now Gladiator, and the Mystic Knight is now a hybrid with an Alchemist. General classes.
Weird.
Other classes with provisional names exist within the game, such as a Spy, Priest, Beast, Hangman, and more unknown. Self-healing. Only magical users can stop time to heal themselves. Other classes must do it in real time while incurring cooldown and effective penalties.
Like potions and stuff.
Main hub. A wing of small ruined Bastonian will serve as the centralized hub for the part...
No, 4 weeks ago.
Welcome back, guys. Today we are here again with another informative video, and today we will be discussing about another upcoming celebrated the 10th anniversary of Hideki Itsune. Capcom could still surprise us with a release out of the blue. Stranger things have happened, but to be honest, we think with the game having still not been revealed, it's more likely that the game could have been pushed back to later in the year or even 2024. If we look at Capcom veteran and Dragon's Dogma game director Hideki Itsune, the game is focusing on giving us the same experience as before. A full-blown multiplayer mode might not be in the cards. The original game had hints of online play only in its pawn system, which was pretty much it. However, we can speculate that over 10 years of successful RPG and action games might have persuaded Itsuno to reconsider specific game mechanics. The sequel might go beyond the online pawn systems and offer co-op play this time. But even if it does, multiplayer might be an optional feature akin to the Souls games. But again, there's no confirmation on any aspect of gameplay, so we'll have to wait and see how they approach it. Similarly, there's no...
Okay, so it sounds like it's probably going to be, I would guess, next year. We'll probably see something next year. Let's see, is there a Dragon's Dogma online private server?
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Hope this video finds you well. And oh my freaking god, it is happening. I already made a video a while back talking about Dragon's Dogma Online revival of the whole private server, and that sadly it does not have online as of yet, even though it's still being worked on. There's still a lot of limitations with it. But oh my god, with the update that I just saw now that they just made, online is soon to come. We got a quick glance or glimpse. We got something when it comes to the online, and from what the developers was able to say, it does show, and they said themselves, that there was a little bit of a glitch to where even though they were all showcased as a specific class, they were
I don't know. So it sounds like there's a lot of information I'll have to kind of glean through to see if there is a Dragon's Dogma online. But yeah, I'll definitely look and see if I can figure it out. But anyways, yeah, you can tell that I've been kind of a little bit burned out on WoW once again, because I do get burned out on World of Warcraft. So I haven't really been in the mood to play the Turtle WoW like today, I guess. I was having fun in it yesterday. Actually, I had fun in it earlier today. But I'm not really feeling like playing Turtle WoW right this minute. So I'm going to take a break and do some research on the Dragon's Dogma Online, see if I can get that server running if possible. But yeah, we do have like a lot of MMOs coming down the road, as you guys know. I mean, with Chrono Odyssey, which looks really good. We've got Ashes Desecration, which looks really good. We've got Throne of Liberty, which looks meh. not so good, but still definitely be something we're playing. And of course, Bethesda's got some stuff they're working on. Of course, we've got the Riot, the League of Legends MMO, which I think will probably be really good, just because Riot Games is really good at making polished video games that are fun. I mean, when have they put out games that aren't good? They're always pretty good. And then, another game that I don't know if you guys are aware of, though, is the Horizon Zero Dawn is working on a Horizon Zero Dawn themed MMO. So that's another MMO that's coming, which I love. Horizon Zero Dawn, I love that game, and so we've got that coming. So we've got quite a few MMOs that are coming. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting over the next, I think, 3 years. I think we're going to have a lot of fun stuff to do. But yeah, I'm going to take a little break. What is it, 11 o'clock? I think tomorrow I have to go to it's Mother's Day, so I have to go to my wife's parents' house for her mom's, for her mom's Mother's Day. So I don't even know how much I'll be playing tomorrow. Probably if I do, it'll be, late in the afternoon. But I will catch you guys later. Hope you guys are having a good one wherever you are in the world. And thanks for stopping by. I know it's kind of a bad stream, so I was kind of just looking at Dragon's Dog and kind of all over the place. But appreciate you stopping by, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.